At the will reading, my parents gave my sister $10 million and told me to go earn my own. Then Grandpa's lawyer stood up and read a secret he kept just for me. My sister Rachel had always been the golden child. Ivy League education, engagement to a surgeon, corner office at Dad's investment firm. I was the disappointment who became a mechanic. Every family dinner ended the same way. When are you going to get a real job, Tyler? Mom would ask. Rachel's already managing portfolios worth millions. The only one who never judged was Grandpa Frank. While everyone else attended Rachel's charity galas, he'd visit my shop. Honest work, he'd say, watching me rebuild engines. That's rare these days. When he died, I knew I'd get nothing. I'd made peace with that years ago. The will reading was at Peterson and Associates. I showed up in my work clothes, motor oil still under my fingernails. Rachel arrived in her Tesla, designer suit perfect. Sorry about your outfit, she whispered. I have a spare blazer in my car if you want to look presentable. Mr. Peterson cleared his throat. To my daughter Barbara and son-in-law James, I leave my classic car collection. Mom smiled. Dad nodded. To my granddaughter Rachel, I leave $10 million in my investment properties in Connecticut. Rachel gasped. Mom grabbed her hand, tears of joy streaming. That's everything, Dad said, standing. Then he turned to me. Tyler, Grandpa believed in teaching life lessons. You need to go earn your own way. Build character. Exactly, Mom added. Rachel's proven she can handle wealth. You're still finding yourself. I stood to leave. At least I had my memories of him. Mr. Tyler Morrison, Mr. Peterson said sharply. Please remain seated. The room froze. He pulled out a second folder, sealed with red wax. Your grandfather left additional instructions. A codicil filed separately. What codicil? Mom demanded. The one he created after discovering some interesting financial records, Mr. Peterson said, opening the folder. To my grandson Tyler, who never asked for handouts, who built his business with his own hands while others built theirs with stolen money. Stolen? Rachel's voice cracked. Mr. Peterson continued reading. I leave Morrison Industrial Holdings, the company I built before my daughter even met James, the company I kept secret, the company worth $47 million. Silence. I also leave evidence, Mr. Peterson read, that Rachel Morrison has been embezzling from her father's firm. $3.2 million over 4 years. The FBI has been notified. Rachel's face went white. That's impossible, Dad shouted. Rachel would never— Mr. Morrison, the lawyer interrupted, pulling out bank records. Your father-in-law hired a forensic accountant 8 months ago. These transfers match Rachel's login credentials exactly. Tyler, Rachel said, her voice desperate. You're my brother. Tell them this is crazy. Crazy like when you told Grandpa I stole from his wallet? I asked quietly. He knew I didn't. He also knew you needed that money for your substance problem. Mom gasped. There's more, Mr. Peterson said. Tyler, your grandfather wanted you to know something. Morrison Industrial Holdings, it's the parent company of James's investment firm. Has been for 30 years. Your father never knew he was working for his wife's father. Dad sank into his chair. Which means, Mr. Peterson continued, as the new owner, Tyler, you're technically your father's boss, and Rachel's former boss, given her termination for embezzlement. You set me up, Rachel hissed at me. No, I said calmly. You set yourself up. Every time you called me a grease monkey. Every time you stole from Dad's clients to fund your lifestyle. Grandpa just made sure I'd be the one to catch you. Mr. Peterson handed me one final envelope. Inside was a photo of Grandpa and me at my shop the day I opened it. On the back, he'd written, the boy who fixes broken things will fix our broken family. Trust the process. Security arrived 10 minutes later. Not for Mom screaming about betrayal. For Rachel. The FBI wanted to ask her some questions. As they led her out, Dad finally looked at me. Really looked at me. The company? It's all yours? Always has been, I said. Grandpa just wanted to see who you'd become when you thought it was yours. Rachel became a thief. You became her enabler. And me? I picked up the folders. I became exactly who he knew I was. Someone who goes and earns their own. Mom started to speak, but I was already walking out. I had a business to run. 2 businesses, actually.